Welcome back, YouTube. J-Bob, the video game slob, coming back at you with a really cool pickup here that we worked out and some mail day stuff. Just talking about some interesting things you may want to be on the lookout for and, maybe play a little bit of what would you do if you were in J-Bob's shoes. So here we go. This is what they call the ESA triple pack. It is a promotional sort of thing that they sell and then take I think it tells you right there, takes the money and puts it into a foundation that supports scholarships so kids can learn how to become programmers and make the next games. And what's really cool is, as you can see, the games are, fairly common, nothing weird there. But what sets them apart is if you take the slipcover off, which is a little beat up, but for like 14 or 15 bucks that I paid for it, not that bad because the games are in great shape. But there is a not for resale mark on the back of these. So that means these are bespoke to this collection. So it is really cool that you get the custom cover art. So something different, a rare variant to chase there. The 360 had a couple of them. Children's Miracle Network, ESA. The PS2 had an ESA Network bundle as well that I don't have. But stuff like that I think is really good to, look out for. Just something unusual or sets your collection apart here. And speaking of which, if you missed out, Limited Run is now doing the Vault series. All those games that have, extra print runs that they keep in case, yours gets damaged during shipping. They get a pre-order of 1,794 copies, so they have to order by the thousand, so you get those couple extra copies. After enough time has passed, they're going to start putting that stuff in the vault. So here was order one from the vault, picking up Day of the Tentacle, that Lucas Films game that everybody loved, but as you can see was the second in the Xbox One series of limited print games. This was 35 bucks. I think the cheapest on eBay right now is about 60 with shipping and tax, so a decent way to get that. And I think shipping on this whole order was like 14 bucks, so it was really pretty reasonable to put in a nice bulk order. These were $10. The Senko no Rande 2, what do they call that? Convention variants. So that's another thing they do if they have games that went unsold at the convention. You could pick those up. So 10 was a pretty good deal on that. I was hoping the value of that was a little stronger, so I went heavy and ordered 3 of them. But that's okay. I'm also ordering for friends, so, I'm sure at least one of them will want the extra copy of that. They did have a couple of Vita games. The Darius Burst I already had and was like 60 bucks, but Rock Boshers was 25. So we picked that up. I think Rocket Birds was the same. I didn't have Rocket Birds, and as we've talked through before, trying to add a few more Vita games to the collection this year. So we had that. Senbren Baku. I don't even know what it is, but, if you look at the cover art, I think you can figure out why I picked this one up. I don't know, looks like maybe a visual novel. I literally don't even have a clue sometimes on this stuff, but there you go. This was one I kind of kicked myself for not buying from VGP when it was on sale for the Black Friday stuff. I've been watching a lot of MST3K. They have a great YouTube channel, so we went ahead and picked that up. I really resisted buying this when it came out, and I guess I'm kind of glad I did, because I think for like 25 bucks or 20 bucks, it was nice to get this out of the vault. It's the Revenant series by Kemco on one cartridge. But I bought all these, and so did my friend. Every Kemco RPG they put out through Limited Run, we bought all of them, and of course they've come out now with these recollections. So it stings a little to buy it that way, but I don't know. Is what it is. More of the $10 game. I think I bought 5 copies of that. Rock Boshers already had it on the PS4, but for 10 bucks, might as well grab extra copies of that. And I love Tomba 1 and 2, so when it was cheap, I wasn't going to pay the retail on it. And just a really great convention variant cover, I believe. Just super cool. So we went ahead and grabbed that. Again, just personal play stuff. I resisted getting the Lollipop Chainsaw because I had it on the Xbox One, but really great cover art. whole lot of fun, and I don't know, seems to just continue to be a popular series. And there you go, the final Rockbosher. So that was the limited run pickup. We'll spend a couple minutes here. So here's the setup, right? So I get the listing, and it says $70 for these 2 games, and it's the lenticular Majoras, and I can tell that Ocarina is not in great shape, but I'm going to put them in a retail location, so I'm going to charge, a little extra, and so that's okay. I think I can make a decent profit on that. So I messaged very early on, and around here you got to message almost immediately on everything. And like 10 hours go by, and I get a response that like, hey, somebody else is interested. And I was like, okay, well, let me know if you have other video game stuff, because I checked their profile. They didn't have anything. Let me know. And they responded back, oh, yeah, my son has like a Nintendo and 50 games. And I said, yeah, I'd be interested in that. Next day, I'm waiting because they want to meet the next day. Not getting a message. It's less than an hour away. They finally message, hey, let's meet here in 30 minutes. So they still had these, and I bought them. And they open up a tub, and I say, how much, were you thinking for the collection? They said $700, which seemed pretty high. At least I thought. And then I just started asking through stuff, and I guess we can do it this way. And so imagine you're in a parking lot of a retailer, and this is just an extra manual I got thrown in. And, you can't really pull out price charting. You just got to go on sort of what you know as a video game collector and dealer. And so, as like, you said, Mario 3 is pretty expensive. Like, what were you thinking? And it's not mint. You can see a little thing there, but it's got all the little things inside of it. If you felt this, it's very heavy. I've looked inside. It's got all the extras. And he's like, yeah, I think that'd be $50. So I was like, okay, yeah, $50. And then he's like, I'll do 10 for the pair of Bill Elliott and Roger Clemens, which, is 2 like basically sports games, but they're boxed NES games, so $5. I'm going to say yes. I think he said 40 for the WrestleMania. All in, this was all $280. So I don't know. I just figured at that point, if nothing else, I don't have a boxed copy for 40. I'll keep that. I think it was the same, maybe like $40 for Tecmo Super Bowl. I feel like it was probably the same, like $40 for like Arkanoid. I had no clue, and this has the controller in it, how expensive Arkanoid is if you look on eBay. So I wasn't sure, but I took a chance. It's boxed. It's probably worth $40. And the Flight Grip 2 for 10, I just thought it was so quirky, and it had the official Nintendo seal so big that I couldn't pass that up boxed for, $10. And I think I paid like same thing, like 50 for Mega Man, obviously in much worse shape, falling out everywhere. But it's like, okay, it's Mega Man. I don't know. I'm doing the totals right. And then I was like, and I'm interested in this Blades of Steel because I thought that was the rare version of it. I was pretty sure that was a variant. And he's like, yeah, I got to look it up. And he's like, you're buying a lot of stuff. And I was like, oh crap, because I was like, he might know what this is then. And he's like, I don't know. I'm going to ask a lot for it, even though it's a sports game, $10. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. And similarly, I think I paid like 15 or $20 for like the Mega Mans and the Turtles. And then I think he hooked me up with Castlevania for 10 because he said it had a rattle in it. And so that's one of those things that I'm like, oh, don't even worry about it. I know how to, fix a game with a rattle in it. So that worked out kind of fine. So it was $280 for all the Nintendo stuff with the 64 games you see there. Did not realize how well I did. I did leave some games behind like Zelda and other stuff, which can be hard, but I didn't want him to really catch up that like there wasn't a whole lot left because I took all the box stuff and some of the best games that he had. That I was like a reseller, and he was even complimenting me. He's like, oh, I want it to go to a collector like you. And of course, some of this will go into the collection. The Blades of Steel, I'm not going to see again. The Flight Grip, I'm not going to see again. So that'll go in my collection. Of course, all this loose games won't. And then, of course, it cost me, $7 to get the box protectors to put them all in. So, what would you have done? Would you have pressing your luck? Like I said, he had a Mario 2 and a Zelda. You try to get those. And all the sports games, volleyball and all that kind of stuff was in there too. But then risk that he's going to realize he's not getting $700 out of you. And then you're going to be stuck with a bunch of low-end stuff. I don't usually like to cherry pick. That's not really what I do here on this channel or with my collections. But anyway, I don't know. How would you have handled it? You let me know in the comments. Did I do well for 280 bucks? I hope I did. Will selling it be a giant pain in the butt for all these boxed NES games? Probably. But there you go. Tales from Video Game Dealings. Be on the lookout for the limited run Games Vault. And the next video on the channel will be one more from the GOAT estate sale pickup. So, YouTube, we'll talk soon. J Bob over and out.